In this experiment, we're going to be doing Equilibria, the Chatelier's principle. We're going to be doing part D, copper complex. We're going to be using copper sulfate, ammonia, hydrochloric acid. We're going to be using just one test tube, and we're going to start adding 1 milliliter of the copper sulfate. Our first observation is that the color is a light blue liquid solution, and then we're going to add a few drops of the ammonia. As we can see here, it turns to a dark marine blue. And then finally, when we add the hydrochloric acid, we can see that it has a little bit of a light blue we had before, but now instead of liquid, we have an equation solution. Here we have our final equation for the whole reaction, and for the first steps, our shift will go to the right because we're adding a strong base right here, and when we add the hydrochloric acid, it's gonna shift to the left again, so it's gonna go back to the opposite side because the hydrochloric acid is gonna reduce all the products. We are also going to be doing part B, the dissociation of acetic acid. We're going to be using 2 milliliter of acetic acid, methyl orange indicator, sodium acetate, just 2 or 3 crystals, and sodium hydroxide. So we're going to be using 2 test tubes and tongs. First, we're going to start adding 2 milliliter of the acetic acid, and we're going to add just a few drops of the methyl orange indicator, just to recognize, so we can observe the color. It's a colorless solution, the acetic acid. We can see we have like a strong orange red color here, and when we add the sodium acetate, we're going to be adding 2-3 crystals, and so we see that the color is changing. We have a orange, like a little bit light color orange. Then we're going to be using another test tube. We're going to repeat these steps, and so we're going to have the acetic acid, we're going to have the orange indicator, we're going to have the sodium acetate, and we're going to be adding this time sodium hydroxide. Here we have our reaction, and as we can see here, for the first steps, we know that the shift is gonna go towards the reactant, so it's gonna go to the left because we are adding product, and the product is the sodium acetate. And then for the second test tube, that we have the same chemicals while we're adding the sodium hydroxide, it's gonna go back to the right because we are adding a base. We're adding our products, so our base is located in our products. So because we're adding this product, is gonna go back to the right. And for the experiment, whether you're doing part B or part D, be careful in the lab, use appropriate materials. Remember, we're working with chemicals, so be safe in the lab.